The Committee on Parole is reconvening at Southwest Transitional Work Program. Time is 11:58 a.m. With the staff at Southwest, introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. I'm Cheryl Cook from admin here at Southwest.
Hey, Ms. Cook, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. Y'all doing okay?
You're doing fine. Thank you for asking. Mr. Foster,
Yes, sir.
please give us your full name and your Department of Corrections ID.
My full name is Christopher Lawrence Foster Jr. And my Department of Corrections number is 755-310.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. My name is Alvin Roche. To my left is Parole Wide, and to my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. We'll compose your parole panel this morning. Let me explain the process to you. I will read some information into the record. Once that information is in the record, we'll conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we allow Ms. Cook to make comments if she wishes. And then you have some guests with us this morning. We have Mr. Joseph Nash II. You would like to speak? Ms. Freya Wright, your sister, he's not going to speak. Mr. John Foster, your brother, will not speak. And we have Mr. Christopher Foster Sr., your father, and he would like to speak on your behalf. After we hear from your supporters, we have persons in opposition to your release. We have Mr. Michael Walker, the victim's father. We have Ms. I can't pronounce the first name. So would his mother please open her mic and introduce himself? The victim's mother, would you please introduce yourself?
I am LaShanta Amos.
And you would like to speak. You also please mute your mic now, and we'll call on you at the appropriate time. We also have Ms. Deborah Grimes, the victim's grandmother, who's present, but will not be speaking. When all the participants complete their statements before we vote, we'll ask you to make a brief statement on your behalf. You understand the process?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Foster, you are currently 34 years old. You are a first felony offender, and you were sentenced on September 14, 2020, and you received 460 days jail credit. So you've been incarcerated for about 3 years and 9 months on a 13-year sentence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The crime that you were convicted of was molestation of a juvenile, and basically received a 13-year sentence. And your parole date is on October 9th, 2023. You're not eligible for good time, and your full term date is June 10th, 2032. Is all this information correct?
Yes, sir.
Your case has been assigned to Mrs. Pearl Wise. Would you please answer Mrs. Wise's question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. It's afternoon now. Good afternoon, Mr. Foster. How's it
How
going?
are you?
I'm good. Thanks
I'm
for
doing
asking.
okay.
Well,
Yes,
good, good. Good to hear. Good to hear. The records I have show you have 14 years of education. Tell us about your education attainment.
well, I went to Northside Elementary School and I graduated with honors. I went on to Lanier Middle School and I graduated with honors. I went to Green Oaks High School and I graduated with honors. I ran track and I had a track scholarship to Grambling State University where I did not finish, but I transferred what I did finish to Southern University in Shreveport and I graduated with honors.
So you have a BA degree from Southern University?
I have a general studies education degree,
Okay.
associate's degree.
Oh, associate degree. Okay, but you got 14 years of associate degree. Okay.
Yes,
So what
ma'am.
kind of work have you done?
I've done cooking for most of my work, but I have worked in warehouse, doing picking, packing, and shipping. I have done manager jobs at Subway and Sonic, and I've done drive. I've worked for Uber and Lyft at one point.
Okay, good. So you have a significant work history. That's good to know. Let me tell you first off, you are listed as a repeat sex offender because you have 2 incidents of sex with minors. So if I count you as a repeat sex offender. The result of this interview today, I need to feel comfortable that you're not at risk for doing that again to a child. That's the whole point of my, reading your information and talking with you today. I got to feel comfortable. When I read your letter, you talked about how you didn't get any opportunities to complete the sex offender treatment. Is that correct? You're not enrolled in that.
Yes,
What
the
do
minimum.
what do you do every day now?
I'm in the welding program.
So you're getting a well, okay.
Yes, ma'am. And I graduate sometime in June. I'm
Okay.
also in money management. And I attend the Christian group when I'm able to, when they allow me to, every chance I get.
So you've been a repeat sex offender with an associate degree. Have you made any effort on your own to get some material to help you understand you?
Yes, ma'am. I have,
What-
the only thing at my disposal is my Bible. And I'm passionate.
I get, I'm asking you, but you got support here. You got
Yes.
family support, and they're gonna speak in a minute. So I feel like what would probably gotten you something, if you had to ask for something to help you understand why you are touching inappropriately young children. There's a lot of literature out on that. What I'm asking is, and just show yourself grace. If you hadn't thought about it, you hadn't thought about it. Have you ever thought about getting some material yourself, some self-help material sent to you so that you can work on it?
Yes, ma'am.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yes, ma'am. I have.
And what did you do with that thought?
Well, I've written like every jail that I've been at, which I've been, this is the 3rd one.
You're misunderstanding my question. You're misunderstanding my question. You're still asking for what DOC can do or not do. And that's clear. You haven't had sex offender treatment. With the thousands of, when you look at the number of sex offenders in DOC and the number of slots for offenders, it don't line up. It just don't. I'm just putting some numbers out there that they're not correct, but it could be 5 individuals that's convicted of sex offender charges and only two classes, 2 seats in the class. That's not, but it's like it. That's the reality of it.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm asking, what did you do to try to get some help yourself? Try to get some material yourself to help you? And the answer is no. The answer is no. You have not. You haven't tried to get in it. You haven't done have actually family member do some. I'm a sex offender. Family help me. help me figure out how I can not do this again. That's what I was asking.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have, and that's concerning for me.
Yes, ma'am.
You good at articulating what DOC didn't do, but you have not articulated what you could have done
Yes, ma'am.
because you are a repeat sex offender. That's very,
Yes, ma'am.
and we don't know why, but you got to figure out why. Because you did, your sentence is not a lifetime sentence. You're going to get out one day. You're going to get out one day. You do have a low risk, and I want to say that. And I'm glad to hear that you are in trade and that you are, you're taking advantage of what is offered to you. And I want to commend you for that. Tell me about your write-up. Have you had any write-up?
I had at Caldwell, it was an in-house write-up. It didn't go to DOC. It was basically a warning. But I haven't had any others.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. You was in Caldwell in 2020, so that was around 2020 when you had that write-up.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all the questions that I have. You'll give a chance to make a statement at the end. Staff there, what can you tell us about this young man? How he's been doing?
Well, he's been here since October, and there's no write-ups or anything. We don't have anything really that we can report besides he's been in welding and caused no problems. He's been good.
All right, good. Thank you. That's all I had, Jim.
Mr. Parson, what was that disciplinary issue at Caldwell?
It was 2 years ago, and I received a tattoo.
You
Yes,
got a tattoo while you were in prison.
yes, sir.
And I understand why you got the write-up.
I understand.
Mr. Freeman?
Yeah, what was your carnal knowledge about?
My carnal knowledge was about, I was 18 and the girl was 16. And her mom allowed us to date. And she told us not to have sex, and we ended up having sex.
Okay, 18 and 16. Okay, thank you.
At this time, we'd like Mr. Joseph Nash II, you open your mic and give us your statement. They said he's a representative at Riverbend. Okay, let's come back to Mr. Nash. Would Mr. Christopher Foster Sr., the offender's father, please open your mic? Mr. Foster?
Yes, sir.
Would you please introduce yourself and give your relationship and give us your statement?
My name is Christopher Lawrence Foster Sr. And I've been raising my son ever since birth alone. I'm a single father, raising him. And all I can say is my son is a hard worker. He made a couple of mistakes in his life, and his family miss him very much, sir. And I believe when he get through with this situation here, I'll be able to help him through whatever he need, any help. He's reached out to me about the sex offender program, and he said there wasn't no programs for him available while he was down there. So we tried to get him transferred, and he couldn't get transferred to a place where he can get treatment or whatever he needed to help him through the situation, sir. But he's well missed. I would financially support him in any way that he need until he get himself on his feet and get everything he need to help or whatever he needs, sir. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. You should be commended. You've raised your children from birth as a single parent.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You've been commended. You've been commended.
Yes.
Mr. Nash, are you available, Mr. Nash?
Michael.
You muted, Mr. Nash. You muted. Yes.
Okay,
Would you
I-
please introduce yourself and give us your relationship to this hearing?
yes, sir. I am Reverend Nash. I am a paralegal, a lawyer's assistant, and a private investigator. My relationship to Mr. Foster is simply to represent him here at this hearing.
Do you want to speak now or do you want to speak at the end of the hearing?
Let me speak, if that's okay, Mr. Chairman, at the very end.
Okay, you will be given some time at the very end of the hearing.
Say again, sir?
Will be given some time at the end of the hearing.
Thank you so very much.
At this time, we'd like to hear from Mr. Michael Walker, the father of the victim. Mr. Walker? Mr. Walker, would you please open your mic?
Hello, how you doing?
Okay, would you please give your full name and your relationship to this case?
My name is Michael Lemire Walker, and these are my children.
Okay? Give us your statement.
I just want to say that yeah, Chris was a good friend of mine, and I never thought that this would happen. Mind you, that these kids that you see here, they weren't big like this. They were babies when this happened. They were like 4 or 5 years old, and I would never forgive him for that. And I don't think he should be let loose for that. And that's it.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your presence and the presence of your children. At this time, we like to hear from the victim's mother. Would you please open your mic and give us your statement?
Yes, sir.
Give your name and your relationship and give us a statement.
My name is LaShanta Amos. I am Shemaiah Amos and Jeremiah Amos' mom. Right now, how I feel is, if y'all probably can hear it in my voice, is the situation still agitates me a lot because we actually loved and trusted Chris, and we call him Chris for short. He was around us for a long time, and my kids grew up with him. We trusted in him, and my kids even went out of town, places with him that, we never thought that he would do what he did. I feel like it should be no parole hearing because he was around both of my kids from the ages 3 and 4. He built their trust. He had a plan the whole time. If my daughter and son would have never came to me with that situation, he would have kept doing it. And he had no remorse when I confronted him about it. He lied and he ran to another state like the coward he is.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
We also have Ms. Bright and Mr. John Foster, who would not be speaking. Mr. Joseph Nash, would you please open your mic and give us your statement?
Yes, sir. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Member and Mr. Member, I have heard the I won't call it a testimony, but I've heard the conversations of the parents of the victims. And with all due respect, I can only say that we are remorseful for what has transpired. Nothing that can be done today or even tomorrow will undo what has been done. I pray that the parents will be able to find in their hearts to forgive. If they continue with unforgiveness in their hearts, I mean, there's no way that they will enter into heaven.
Mr. Nash, would you please address why you should release the person that you represent?
I am headed that way, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much.
You have 3 or 4 minutes, so head that way very quickly.
Yes, sir. Mr. Foster has served a large portion of his sentence, and he's going to be released at some point in time anyway. He has not been able to take any of the classes that are required. He hasn't been able to partake in any of the self-help programs. And I don't want to be repetitious, but I would simply ask the board if they would make a recommendation that will allow him to be transferred to a better place where he can be subjected to the programs that are needed, so that when he appears before this board again, he will have something to show that he has accomplished. He's simply been warehoused for all these years and not able to do anything productive to show this board that he is now fit and ready to be returned to society in spite of the parents' disposition. And I know that this sometimes put the board in a pretty tough predicament, but that is my take at this point, that the board would at least consider that in its deliberation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nash. Mr. Foster,
Yes, sir.
you'd like to make a brief closing statement.
Yes. Since the time that I've been down, all I could think about is when and how I would be able to make an apology to the family of the victim. And now is my chance. I take full responsibility for what I've done. I can't change what has happened, but I can guarantee that nothing like this will ever happen again to no one. I'm passionate about my life. I've tried to accomplish some things in my life, and I've made this bad choice in my life. I can't. What's on paper, it won't change. The only thing I can do is show you and everyone else, as well as my family, that I would never put myself or anyone else in harm's way, danger, or any of that sort. So I apologize to you, and I hope that you can find it in your hearts one day to forgive me. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yeah.
Mrs. White.
To our participants today, I appreciate your participation in the process. It's hard on both sides. And we recognize that it's hard on both sides. I appreciate your courage to show up today. And state your call, state your side. Mr. Foster, I appreciate what you said, what you just said, but you did not state that I would not touch a child in a court again. Not make a mistake. This is not make a mistake, all the other stuff. I didn't hear you say that I would not inappropriately touch a child again. That's concerning. But we're voting now, nevertheless. My vote is denied due to the nature of your offense, the age of the victim, and the impact of the crime on the victim. and insufficient time served on the sentence that was set forth. You also have law enforcement officers. And there are some programs that you do need to take, victim awareness and things within their so you have not seen those programs. But I'm glad to hear you're taking advantage of the welding program. That's a very prestigious welding program. And you should be able to do well going forward when you get out in terms of employment in that trade. That is my vote, Tim.
Thank you, Mrs. Bryant. Mr. Freeman.
Okay, I also vote to deny because the series of the offense and not enough time served. But I would ask DOC to move the subject to a facility with sex offender treatment.
Mr. Foster, you received the votes to deny your request. I actually agree with my colleague today, based upon express opposition from law enforcement and the victim, in light of rehabilitative program and insufficient time served. You have a 13-year sentence. You've only served 3 years, 9 months, approximately 49% of that sentence. I think that's insufficient for the mental, physical, and emotional stress that you put this family through. You have received 3 votes to deny your request. Your request has been denied. You have a good day.
Thank you. Y'all do the same.